Good evening, for Randomania viewers, and welcome to tonight's 1 and 2 race in the Lali-Ho League between Sorbius and Harumph. This is an elimination match, so both of our runners should be I'd imagine would be pretty nervous, because at this point this is win or go home. My name is Xenocat, and I am joined here in the booth by Imperial Dragon. Imperial Dragon, how are you doing tonight?
Doing good. Excited to watch this race. And interesting naming scheme.
Oh my goodness. I don't like this naming scheme.
I will say, outside of certain circumstances, I don't entirely disagree.
I am never on Team Poison Axe. Although it does specify best axe. No, I'm still Team Ogre Axe over Team Poison Axe.
I guess I just sort of see him as situational.
The Poison Axe is fine. It's not terrible. It can do some things, but it's not very accurate. The Ogre Axe is more reliable. And the Rune Axe is not in the discussion because the Rune Axe is for different situations. The Rune Axe is also a perfectly acceptable axe. And I would rank it above the Poison Axe, but the Rune Axe is for mages. The Ogre Axe / Poison Axe are for giants. I prefer Ogre Axe personally for being more reliable.
But hey, also for fun, let's just look at that character start.
We've got Tella. He was once everyone's favorite character in the last tournament. Now not so much.
Well, when you don't have Fu, Tella is good.
Yeah, when you don't have Fu and every grind is a D machine, pretty much. Tella's real good. But we've done some things to nerf him this tournament, such as added Fu back in, potentially, and the Giant is a little bit less accessible. But it does look...
I don't mind that the Giant's a little less accessible. That was kind of getting a little bit... Every race is a D machine.
Yeah, I think I've been quite happy to see the break from the D machine, but our start is, oh my goodness, it's Tella and Porum with a Luca key.
Well, hey, and there's another option for grinding. The door!
I mean, I like doors. Tella makes doors possible, but how are we doing damage this seed?
I have no idea. We'll have to find out.
Yeah, fortunately, this is not a problem that we in the commentators booth have to deal with. This is something that our runners will have to figure out as they try to make Tella and Porum do damage.
Hopefully they find some good items.
No, it looks like Sorbius is going immediately to check the Baron Inn character.
And Harumph is checking the... That's Watery Pass, right?
Yep. And we have Cecil. With that light sword in Baron Inn, that's, a viable option for damage once we get through ordeals.
But getting through ordeals without damage can sometimes be a challenge.
Yeah, I'm not liking this character setup so far in terms of the very early game.
Oh, silk webs. Can't complain about those.
And you also can't complain about the curse ring that Harumph just found in that little secret room in the Watery Pass there.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, that'll turn Tella into an anchor at virtually any level, and it looks like Harumph is going to keep going further through this Watery Pass. With Tella knowing exit, this is a very viable play. You walk all the way through Watery Pass, looting the whole thing, and, maybe get all of the loot out of it, and then exit back to the front. But Sorbius has shown us that there's a second ribbon in the back of Watery Pass to complement the first ribbon that Harumph showed us in the front.
Ribbons can come in very handy.
But it does look like Sorbius is going to be missing out on that curse ring as he's going straight to Mount Hobbs, and we don't have a power staff, so there goes that option. The power staff is one of the best things that this team could start with for early game damage, but unfortunately we got a silver staff and an ice rod.
Yeah, that's not very helpful.
And there was a poison axe in the watery pass. Sorry, Sorbius, you missed that. And that's just Iridia on Mount Hobbs. So,
The continued quest of where's the damage?
yeah, we have found 0 characters so far that can do damage before getting through Mount Ordeals. I wouldn't go so far as to say this is reject percent. Dark Knight Cecil turns into Paladin Cecil, and Paladin Cecil is very much not a reject.
Agreed.
Yang actually is looking kind of nice right now, if they can find a Sand Ruby.
Yeah, he can do some good damage.
Yeah, he can do some pretty good damage, pretty solid damage. It's not the best in the early game, but it scales up pretty quickly and into the mid game and even into the late game. He can also exploit a bunch of those elemental weaknesses, which is really nice.
And he doesn't necessarily need a ton of gear.
Yeah, you might want a little bit of strength boosting gear on him, but you don't really need it to get some damage out of him. Unfortunately, he is locked behind the Sand Ruby, and who knows when that's going to show up. But Sorbius finds the Heroine Robe first. That will make Porum start to go burr.
That's pretty respectable.
Now, I don't think we have a good weapon for Porum to use with that Heroine Robe, but it's definitely something. Although, we might be reconsidering that Hobbs fight now. As Harumph is diving into the Antlion Cave, still looting, still desperately hoping for some sort of strong strength boosting gear. There's the best claw for Yang, just sitting right there in Antlion.
Yeah, this is a character set I would be looting for quite some time with.
Yeah, I definitely can't blame either of the runners for going out of the way for all this loot, because these characters don't have a lot going for them. And even with that Heroine Robe, Porum doing a nice 69 points of damage.
And Octomam in Antlion spot.
This is actually a relatively nice fight. Harumph tossing that Whip Bolt to get off a good amount of damage early. This boss will only punch, and this bot doesn't punch very hard. So while this will be a long fight, it will be a relatively free fight.
Yeah, there are a lot worse bosses to find there.
Unfortunately, this Kenazo on Mount Hobbs is a little bit less free, although it looks like Sorbius has done enough damage to where the waves aren't too scary. But we'll see if he can outpace the hiding inside the shell healing.
And Octomam is gone. For a Twin Heart.
That is really nice. That'll help. That'll get Harumph access to complete objective number 1. I don't think he'll be going there straight away, as this team taking on Cave Magnus. No thanks.
Yeah, no.
But in the meantime, Sorbius has made it through that Kenazo fight on Mount Hobbs.
It wasn't an easy fight, but it's definitely doable with with the setup that they've got here.
Yep, and now has Iridia, so, Iridia's cool. That glass hat is kind of nice for defense.
Oh yeah, and definitely the dancing dagger that Rydia has is nice.
Oh my goodness, that's our source of damage right there. It's not an ideal source of damage, but it's a source of damage.
At this point, any source of damage is good enough.
Yeah, anything that can do triple digits, we take. Tela exploiting an elemental weakness with a level 1 spell, fine. Fine, whatever. We'll take it.
I'm not surprised that Rydia is on the floor because the 30 hit points kinda causes problem.
Yeah, I believe she took the first punch in the fight, and it did 3 times her max HP, so she is napping.
And it's not worth trying to get her back up at that point.
Nope. she can have a little nap. Sorbius, meanwhile, has headed over to defend Fabul, and that's not what you want to see for this party. Oh no.
The no bro.
This is especially bad for this party because we're relying almost entirely on magic-based damage, unless you count Porum bonking. And the no probe has counters to magic. And those counters hurt.
They hurt a lot.
With some healing here from Porum, this shouldn't be too bad. But Tela is going to be losing a lot of HP.
Dancing Dagger's doing some good damage there.
Yep. And it looks like Tela is able to mostly keep on top of healing. But this is still not the fastest fight.
And the Kanazo fight's going very well. Taking some time, but
is back in the shell. That's good. We like Kanazo in the shell. Tela keeping up with the... That's always nice to see, but meanwhile Sorbius is through that Okapoko fight. And for defending Fabul, we get a bow. That's ingredient number 2 for our murder child Porum here.
Honestly, some arrows and that's a really good situation to be in.
And apparently the King of Fabul couldn't give away the Black Sword because he had stashed 2 of them in Sheila's tower. Yeah, the Wandering Dark Knight, I guess... I guess the Wandering Dark Knight was an archer this seed? I don't know.
That doesn't quite make sense, but sure.
Sure! Great! This is fine.
I will say Harumph is taking a lot longer on Kanazo than Sorbius did.
But does get through. The extra length likely due to not having that heroine robe.
Yeah.
Heroine robes are very good. But it looks like Sorbius is heading to Baron Inn to pick up this Dark Knight Cecil. I mean, you just picked up 2 Black Swords, which are Dark Knight Cecil's ultimate weapon. This makes sense.
Also, Pildim, very nice spot to see that with everything they've got right now.
Yeah, that's a very nice boss to see. It does look like Oh, has white arrows. So, yeah, Porum is going to absolutely destroy all of these ghasts, and unfortunately, our Hob summon is just Mage.
Not what anyone wants to see.
I mean, Mage is great against non-boss bit enemies.
But we don't usually see tons of non-boss bit enemies.
Yeah. Unfortunately, due to the way Mage works, in that it both does damage and inflicts hold, if the boss is immune to hold, which all bosses are, Mage will just miss and won't do any damage. It does do a lot of damage, though.
Yep. And Mylan's down.
Mylan and his friends have been defeated, and will reward Sorbius with a path underground in the Magma Key.
Oh, that's very nice.
Yep, we got the easy way underground.
And welcome to our raiders from Rowdy Roddy Sniper. Race is still getting going. A little bit of a slow start with Tella and Porum, but
Yeah, Tella and Porum are not the strongest start, and then also with Rydia on Hobbs and Cecil in Baron Inn. We're still kind of looking for damage. Sorbius does have a Heroine Robe Porum online. Harumph has not found the Heroine Robe, unfortunately, which seems to be making up much of the difference between our two runners.
indeed.
I mean, I don't blame Harumph. Damsian Castle is a little bit out of the way. And if you're if you're not raising the hovercraft, there's not really much of a reason to go there. Sorbius, you might want to not have white arrows on for this fight. And unfortunately, Octomam is resistant to Holy. But weak to Dark, which is nice for Cecil.
Porum made some pretty good work of that, or pretty quick work of that.
Yep, even Medusa arrows can do some damage if you've got an Artemis bow and a Heroine Robe.
And Harumph is heading up Ordeals.
Might be looking to get Tella online. I don't believe Harumph has peeked the Baron Inn yet to see the Cecil there, but if Harumph can get through this, that'll be very good for his party. Although it looks like Sorbius is right on his heels, as having a Paladin Cecil is generally better than not. And that's a spicy Sylph summon in the Chocobo Forest outside.
Ooh, I don't usually go for that spot, but that definitely made it worth the extra couple steps.
Yeah, now you don't even need to worry about keeping Porum around for healing. Rydia can handle the healing, while Porum does the going burr.
And Asura.
So the good news is we can get through this fight. The bad news is this is going to be real slow.
Yeah, that's not gonna be a fast fight at all.
Yep. I mean, the starting kit rune rings are going to be great because we have basically everyone can resist mages here, and this spot already has basically no physical attack. but damage output is still going to be a bit of a thing.
Yeah. And Sorbius is joining Harumph over here.
Looks like Harumph put up 2 Star Veils to get a wall onto Asura, while Sorbius is going for the Lifelock approach, which is if you only attack after Asura uses the Life 1 spell, you can get her to cycle back to the Life 1 spell. And she will never cast any of her healing spells on herself.
It's a very useful trick for that.
Indeed. The problem is if you try to do anything that has a longer, a bit of a delay, it can get a little bit tricky. So unless you're using like an item or the fight command, things get a little bit interesting with life locking. But looks like Sorbius isn't going to have too much of an issue with this life lock strat.
It looks like Harumph decided to reset out of that one.
And I think he's going to somewhere else because I think his Veil wore out. That is the trouble with not having the damage output. Star Veils don't last forever.
No, they don't. Moon Veils last longer, but not Star Veils. You don't want to have a Moon Veil on that anyways.
Moon Veils, no. You don't want a Moon Veil, Asura. That sounds like a bad idea.
I did it once. It was not the best time.
That's do you want all of your physical attacks to miss forever?
Apparently, I forgot that was a thing.
I mean, you see Veil in the name, it's like, oh great, that'll put up a wall, right? Yeah, I mean, it will do that, but it will also make her immune to physical attacks, which is not great.
And Sorbius has made it through.
Yeah, taking down that Asura fight is going to save after that. It's a pretty long fight. Oh no.
Ooh.
That is not who you want to see at the back attack. Not for this team.
Ouch.
So we may be seeing a bit more of Dark Knight Cecil than we wanted.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, yeah, that's very likely to be the case.
Looks like Porum does hit through here, and using the Dark Wave command to do a little bit of extra damage, but ugh. This is not a pleasant fight. Well, Harumph is headed to Ebwan Castle to get some extra loot, and did find the discount versions of the Zerker gear that Sorbius has in the form of a power shirt and a samurai bow.
Not a bad find at all.
That's probably good enough to let Porum hit things.
So it looks like Harumph is doing a little more shopping.
Yep, probably desperately hoping to find, I don't know what exactly Harumph is looking for, but it's...
Mute arrows, maybe?
That would be a thing to look for, yes, actually. That's probably exactly what Harumph is looking for. Something to do good damage to Asura. I mean, charm arrows are great. Not mage weakness. Don't hit the mage weakness, but they're fine. And it does look like Sorbius is through that back attack vow.
Took a little bit of time, but not bad at all.
And with this team, you're willing to commit that time.
Especially since on the other side is one more fight, and getting Cecil to a paladin.
Yes. Sorbius is, I believe, this fight away from getting a light sword paladin. And a paladin with a lightsaber, that sounds like a pretty good time. And a package.
You know, that's definitely not something I would complain about, a package.
I was going to say we could have our character objective there because we haven't talked about the random objectives at all, but our character we know is already at the Sand Ruby. And that's not the character we're looking for.
Well, it could be if it happens that there's a duplicate of Yang in the pool.
Yes, but well, we found one duplicate of Yang up here. This is not an objective, unfortunately. This is just a boss fight.
Yep.
I mean, we found Yang again, but no, this one doesn't count.
That one.
Okay, the confused, that joke is made even more funnier by the fact that Cecil has a lightsaber. For those of you watching the VOD back later, it's Jedi hand wave. This is not the dupe you're looking for, Cecil says with a lightsaber in hand. I mean, at this point, Cecil is practically a Jedi.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
But Harumph has returned to Mount Ordeals, is doing a lot more damage with Porum this time.
This should definitely be a lot easier to get through.
Yes, we'll see what his opinion of the back attack is, but shouldn't have any issues with this Asura fight. And Harumph is through.
A lot easier that time through.
Yep,
And it looks like Sorbius is going to be maybe heading underground? Oh, not quite yet.
Might be peeking this package character first. Even though we know, I believe both runners know that Yang is available in the Kaipo bed. Might be hoping to get an early Yang here, but that's a Palom. Great character, but on these flags, it's a little late for Palom, and we have a Cecil. But the Mist Cave, paying off with our Dark Imps. So we now know where both of the random objectives are.
Wonder how long it's going to take Harumph to notice or to check in on that one.
Yeah, the Mist Cave is one of those sneaky overworld boss spots that is often skipped. Or at least often put off for a while. And Harumph did nope out of the Val on Ordeals and has found Cecil. Which is just another sign from the seed that's saying, hey, go to Ordeals.
But by the way that the logic works, Harumph should know at this point that progression to underground has to also be someplace else, because Val can't be blocking the only way underground.
This is true. And it could be here with this Cecil, or it could be back in Fabul in Harumph's mind, although we know it's here. Nubari, our restreamer, pointing out it could have also been at that Twin Harp check.
That is a very good point.
Which, with this party,
A very painful point, but a very good point nonetheless.
Yes, we are very thankful that our underground access was not locked behind the Cave Magnus check this seed. At least, I'm sure that's what Sorbius is feeling.
I would be feeling that.
But it does look like Sorbius is now going to be headed underground.
And Harumph is making pretty good progress on taking out Mylan and friends.
Yep, Mylon has lost all of his friends. It's just Mylon now, all alone. He does punch a little bit hard, though.
Yeah. Once his friends go away, he really is very punchy.
He doesn't like it when his friends go away. He was having so much fun hanging out with them, and then he got rid of them all, and now it's just Mylon, and Mylon's not happy.
He was just chilling, having a drink with his buddies, and then all of a sudden these adventurers showed up.
Yep. Sorbius heading into Dwarf Castle, checking these shops. I did not catch what was in the item shop.
I missed it too, unfortunately.
It doesn't look like there was anything super exciting in that item shop.
Not from what I could see in the inventory.
Yep. Harumph, meanwhile, is through Baron Inn and did get that magma key, which will be nice, you know. So he'll be able to get underground, which hopefully for him there's a grind available down here, but there may not be. Night 2 confirming there were Starveils there, but Starveils are not something that I would be checking an underground shop for.
And I'm pretty sure I saw Starveils in another shop.
Yes, Starveils are guaranteed to be on the overworld, so just an ad for Starveils, and that's not a boss you want to see at Dolls at this point.
Evil Wall is kinda rude there sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't the fastest spot, but it's a little punchy. And Cecil has some heavy armor. So maybe we're fine, right? Maybe?
Hopefully.
There is an illusion in the inventory, and Porum getting lucky with that dodge. Rydia just took like no damage. This is fine.
Oh.
That's a little less fine.
It's punchy.
It's not the most punchy, but it does hit.
Oof.
Bye, Tella. Have a nice nap.
Tella's getting to enjoy a nice nap.
Harumph heading to Tamra to see what's in that shop. Just an elixir and just elixirs and ether ones.
Definitely not something I'd write home about.
And not checking the job dwarf. Seed invalid.
I mean, I can understand not checking the job dwarf sometimes, but
In Harumph's case, especially in Harumph's case where he might feel behind from the struggles on Mount Ordeals and the wipe to Fable Defense. I feel... I don't blame him at all, but...
Honestly, I probably would skip in the same... Or I would probably skip in his place.
Yeah, it definitely don't fault the decision. As much as I love the meme. We have our first notable item in the item shops here with coffins in the Fey March. And
Definitely
Sorbius
still got some use there.
Sorbius did get through and finds Yang. That's another objective. Also that's a fun goal, Bez. And it is not the Wyvern that we feared it was, it's just these Lunars.
I mean, with this party makeup, it's not necessarily the best spots, or it's not necessarily the best fight, but it's doable.
Yep. They are a bit punchy here. But it looks like Harumph is not done with this Fey March yet. Interesting. Just healing up for him. Sticking her in the top slot.
And that's nice to see.
Yes, the lunar frogs have succeeded. Unfortunately, Cecil got turned into a frog too, but...
It's an acceptable loss.
And we have the Kaipo guards at the Asura spot, so this is going to be some nice experience for Harumph's party.
And it's pretty much free.
Yep, one coffin to the officer, and the soldiers will no longer attack the party. So Harumph can just kind of beat on them and help them knock themselves down.
They really don't seem to like each other, do they?
No, they do not. I think the officer's presence is the only thing keeping them from tearing each other apart. And the Dwarf Castle gives us the Baron key. That it has been said by some runners that Baron has all the value. Although with the boss and character hunts out of the way, it seems a little bit less likely.
Just 2 key item spots there. Well, I guess if there was I guess there's also the potential there could be a good character there.
Yeah, there could be a good character there, like a Fu. Or, I can't think of any other characters we have good gear for. Oh, I guess an Edge. Hey, it's a rat tail. That's something we can't do anything with right now for Harumph, but maybe it'll be useful later.
Yep, maybe later.
But it looks like he is done with the Fey March.
And an airship crashed into the lava? But, I mean, who hasn't accidentally crashed their airship into the lava or into a town?
You think we do that accidentally? I'm trying to crush the town. Listen, Troya Lady knows what she did. Meanwhile, Sorbius is now headed to that Fey March. We'll find the Masamune probably in the freaky item chest. We'll see if he finds the rat tail in its slightly off vanilla location.
And who knows, maybe Sorbius might try to take on Golbez. I doubt it, but hey.
I mean, Golbez is technically free.
Technically, but not necessarily that fun in that spot.
No, Golbez is not fun. I mean, I should point out that Sorbius does have a ribbon, so can protect one character of his choosing from getting the getting gobbled up by the Shadow Dragon.
It's definitely nice to be able to control that.
And Porum can't be held, so because of that heroine robe, so could very easily get a veil up on her to protect her.
Did Sorbius pick up any of the coffins, though?
I don't believe so, and it looks like he's going right back to pick some up. Or just one. One works. Meanwhile, Harumph is taking on this Valvalis at the back attack. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like Porum's able to hit. So this is going to be slow. Okay, she can hit sometimes. Sometimes is much better than none of the times. But, yeah.
Still not going to be very comfortable fight.
Yeah, the lack of that plus 15 agility from the heroine robe and the extra strength and agility from the Artemis bow, just not able to get Porum through that spot. The difference in gear, to answer a question, chat. Sorbius had a heroine robe and an Artemis bow. Harumph has a power shirt and a samurai bow. Which are basically the discount versions of Sorbius's gear. Although Harumph is going to be probably going to get through this full defense fight with no issues, and will be at least evening out the bow advantage.
Definitely rude bosses in rude places, the seed so far.
Yeah, we had Keinazo on Hobbs. Iron wasn't so bad. There was an Asura into a back attack Val on Ordeals, which was fun. This rat tail behind Kaipo guards is probably one of the nicest things we've had all seed.
Yeah, definitely the nicest thing we've had all seed.
Yeah, Evil Wall at Dolls was not fun. And our party was Tella at Porum with Rydia on Hobbs. The Hobbs summon is just Mage. Cecil was in the Baron Inn. And Yong on Sorbius' side was from Dwarf Castle.
Oh, now we get to see Sheila 1.
Hey, you want some arrows to go with that bow?
Not what I would be wanting, but
I think Fabul is secretly a nation of archers, and they've been just trying to hide it from everyone.
maybe. And ooh, Sorbius is going for Golbez.
I mean, he has a ribbon. You know, I bet what's going on with the Fabula the Seed is that it's one of those things where the two NPCs have the different halves of the ultimate bow and arrow because they're too powerful to be wielded by one person, except then they both get given to this 5-year-old kid.
Fair enough. I like it.
I think we can agree that Porum is the real hero of this seed. Even though Cecil is the protagonist, this is Porum's seed.
Porum is doing some good work here.
Yep. Sorbius looks like is just going all out against this Golbaz with white arrows and a light sword. To put a minor correction in Cat, if this was a Sea Hero seed, technically Tello would be the hero, but Forum would be the hero in all our hearts.
Yeah. Porum is the hero in our hearts.
That's a very good point, Prankraz. Tella and Porum share an ultimate weapon. Or a super smith weapon. So... in a way, Porum could still get to be the hero. It does look like Sorbius did run out of white arrows, unfortunately, so... I had to switch over to darkness arrows, I believe.
That's not so good, but Golbez is down anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Yep, and that is a single dip Feymarch complete for Sorbius. And Harumph is through Valvalis, but that's a spear.
That's no progression there.
Golbez just wants us to kill dragons.
Apparently.
Yeah, with no one who can use that, Sorbius resetting out of that. You don't need the experience. May as well save the Starveils for something else. And now Sorbius is headed to Tamra. Maybe now we'll get our job dwarf check. Meanwhile, Harumph finds the package. Sorbius finds heroine robes for sale in Tamra.
It looks like Harumph is dealing with a little bit of the dreaded inventory loss.
That's the trouble with doing so much early looting on this kind of seed, even though it feels necessary because it's such a weak start. Then you get inventory bossed by random key item checks, and that never feels fun. No, Pankraz, the dimps are in Mist Cave. Which Sorbius checked while he was peeking the package character. So we'll see if Harumph makes the same play. But meanwhile, Sorbius is headed through the Sylph Cave. Unfortunately, this walk will just be a long walk for Artemis arrows.
Yeah, a little bit of a time waste there, but...
I mean, it's a freebie. It's not going to be too
Yeah.
bad.
And Sorbius has no way of knowing that it's just arrows.
Yep, but it looks like our runners are going to be mostly evened out after this, with Harumph being just down that Golbez check and the Dwarf Castle check.
And as the Golbez check was just a spear, not really a big deal.
But it looks like Harumph has decided not to check in on that package character yet, and we're getting a music play.
Not a bad idea. Party shouldn't have any problems with it.
Yeah,
Unless
we have
it's something
Lightsword
really
Cecil.
weird.
We have a Porum with a bow. This should be fine. We know it's required, so this is great.
Yes, no sign of Derek missed.
It does look like Sorbius is also thinking about this Cave Magnus check. Hopefully this shopping trip takes long enough that we can stagger the music a little bit.
And hopefully it's not too rude. Or actually, maybe I should be hoping it is a little bit rude just for the interestingness.
Part of me really wants Alt Gauntlet here. But then that means Alt Gauntlet isn't at Beigen. I'm torn. I don't know which one I want that more.
I don't know. That is a very tough call.
Sorby is selling a whole bunch of things to get a cursed ring. So now, which will even out the advantage that Harumph has from finding one in the Watery Pass.
You know, chat is a little bit vicious.
I don't want Wyvern, because then the music gets... We only hear a little bit of the music. I want to hear all the music. But speaking of music, it looks like we'll be getting Harumph's music on Harumph's side shortly, so we will be quiet here in the comms booth and let you enjoy Edward's wonderful tunes. Well, that was Mylon Z reminding us that we are not alone. But it looks like we won't get much time to talk because we're about to have music again. So we're gonna shut up again. And that was both of our renditions of music this seed, but it looks like we're about to have another favorite meme, and we're going to play our favorite game.
Rate that treasury!
That treasury!
I don't know.
I mean, the rings are nice. The spears are kind of nice, I guess. But we don't have Kane yet. If Kane's in Zot, this becomes really good. But otherwise, nah.
Honestly, I'd say probably a 5 or 6 out of 10 unless we see a Kane.
Yeah, that's. I'd probably give it like a 4 if we don't see a Kane.
I just really like that defense sword.
The defense, it's nice. It is a very, very slight upgrade for Cecil, this is true. Leviathan is also kind of nice. That bumps it up to a 5 for me, actually.
Leviathan is very worth it.
There wasn't a Sarah in there, but we have Porum. Porum can do white mage things. But yes, the crystal and protect rings are the big highlights of that treasury for this party. And the life staff is nice. The second life staff is not very nice, but the first one is really great.
Yeah, you can't really complain about a life staff. Unless you get a lot of life staffs.
Yeah, at some point you get too many life staffs, but the first one's fine. Also, hello, Odin.
Honestly, not the worst spot that I've seen Odin at.
Yeah, the magic power here is fairly low, so his big attack won't do too much damage. This just has a bit of HP. But Sorbius is going to be able to take advantage of that Indra summon from Dwarf Castle to do 3,000 damage, while Harumph has to rely on Leviathan, which is not as good as Indra against Odin. But Lit 3 does the job. And we have found at least some value up here, because that's Fu.
Fu is very much some value.
Yes, even though he's not one of our big heavy hitters, Fu has access to all of the spells. Oh, hey, it's also Kane, so guess what? That treasury was actually useful.
I like it.
Yeah. And Sorbius ditching Rydia, this makes and Kane, this makes complete sense, but Harumph ditching Tella instead. With the cursed ring, this is perfectly fine. Harumph basically has an anchor in a box whenever he wants. And having looted that treasury, Rydia is real good. And with a Leviathan, and we have good weapons for Kane, so this is just, everyone's pretty solid on this team. I will point out that Sorbius does have a curse ring, so Sorbius can also anchor pretty well without needing to have Tella committed to anchoring, but it's nice to have Fu not be the anchor sometimes. Or, you know. It's nice to be able to devote a character to anchoring that you don't care about. But it does look like Fu has nuke on both sides, so, rip elements.
To Megates in chat, who's asking how a cursed ring can be useful, the center party member is what determines a lot of the speed of the bosses and whatnot. So if you have the person with an extremely low agility stat, which can be done by the cursed ring, it can make it much easier to control a lot of the boss fights.
Indeed. To go a little bit further into that, basically, everything is calculated relative to your center party member's agility. The problem is, if you're more than a certain amount faster than your center party member, the game just goes, you're at max speed. So if you can get all of the rest of your party members up to that max speed, then it doesn't matter if the boss is also max speed, because you have 4 people at max speed and the boss has one entity at max speed most of the time. Some of the bosses are multi-part and it gets a little bit interesting, but basically the gist is have everyone be at max speed and then destroy everything.
You explain it a lot better than I do.
But that was a darkness crystal from the Tower of Zot.
That is a very good find.
Oh, harumph. Almost giving us the meme, but nope. That Soma drop's going on Fu and not Kane. This is the, of course, logical person to use the Soma drop on, but why would you give Fu MP when you can give Kane MP? I mean, Kane can cast spells. He deserves MP.
Oh, and there's a water hag.
Well, I choose to believe that this means that our gauntlet will be somewhere really rude.
Here's to hoping.
It does look like Harumph is going back for the Golbez fight. Unfortunately, we know that this will not give any value, but the Dragoon Spear is actually going to be useful for Harumph's party. Which is kind of nice. It's not a good primary weapon, but it does do bonus damage to dragons, which is useful for a couple of bosses, and, well, only one left at this point. Well, 2 left, Dark Elf and Wyvern. But is also useful for a lot of the grinds. And the Imposter King of Baron is...
Well, that was nicer than it could have been.
Yeah, I was half expecting a Wyvern to show up there, but no, this is just Plague. This is fine.
Yeah, Plague is just one nuke and gone.
Yep, Fu goes nuke, Plague goes slow dissolve.
Plague doesn't even get a chance to stay high.
We didn't even get to hear any bloops. And that's everyone's favorite Spoony Bard. But apparently not Sorbius's.
He's got his uses, but not that many.
No, it is a bit late to take Edward into the party, especially with no Spoon. And this party is looking pretty set for Sorbius. Fu and Horum are both very solid party members. It's nice to have 2 sources of Berserk. especially in Sorbius's cases where that Porum is all set up for Zerking, and the Cecil and the Young are both great characters, just to get more physical damage. Oh, but the spoon was in the Baron pot all along.
Okay, that's kind of funny.
Yep. Hey, this is, do you believe, this is the seed asking the runners if they believe in the power of spoon word. And if you don't believe in the spoon word, you don't get the spoon word.
I will honestly say I've never actually used Spoon Word.
Spoon word is basically X-Cal Cecil, but super squishy. So
That's interesting.
he's pretty useful. He will not survive an unnerfed Big Bang, but you know. This explains everything. The imposter king of Baron was Plague. The real king of Baron was the Wyvern. But I believe that's every Lunar Sparkle now.
Yeah.
Uh,
And to be honest, this probably won't be that terrible a fight to get through.
yeah, we have Artemis arrows.
Artemis arrows, a food and nuke.
And yeah, this is going to be a pretty easy fight for Sorbius to get through, I expect, at this point.
And harumph is through Golbez.
That is a Dragoon Spear, but no value. And yeah, that Fu is out of MP. And it looked like we got nothing behind Wyvern, so Sorbius is now headed to the moon.
Well, good news for us at least is the Fabul Gauntlet's still someplace out there. It could be the moon.
I would really love to see a Fabul Gauntlet on the moon. But not at one of the easy spots like Ribbon Room or White Spear Altar. Like those gauntlets are tame. I do like this play from Harumph though. Feeling behind, diving into the sealed cave.
Yeah, honestly, at this point, as long as there's a save outside, it does not hurt to go check it out.
Yep. You get to see the key item before you have to see the boss, and knowing that a lot of the rabbit hole key items are already out of the way. For example, Harumph doesn't know the Baron key is out of the way, but the Twin Harp, the Earth Crystal's taken care of already. The Rat Tail's already been found. So a tower key or a pan that doesn't pay out down here could be bad for Harumph, but otherwise, pretty much any key item down here would be value for him.
Though Harumph doesn't know that the boss objective is not in here.
This is true. There could still be a Demas down here.
Oh, that is a very
something.
good point. We haven't seen
But
Demas.
He will not find the Dimps down here. They're back in Mist Cave, waiting for him to go find them.
And what's on the moon?
Well, so Sealed Cave has some value, and we have Rosa on the moon. I think it's a little late for Rosa, but we'll see what Sorbius thinks.
Yeah, I would lean toward it being a bit late to pick up a Rosa, but...
That is a Demist in the Sealed Cave.
Oh, that is interesting.
This could very well be a double required Sealed Cave. In which case, oh my goodness, this could be what Harumph needs to get back into this. If this demist pays off with something other than the adamant, if it's just the adamant, that's great. There's one objective, but we only need 4 out of 5 to complete the seed, and Sorbius just needs either legend and adamant or hook and pink tail. So if demist is holding on to, say, like even the pink tail,
Yeah, pink tail or hook.
either pink tail or hook or something leading to pink tail or hook, that's all Harumph needs to make this check extremely valuable. Even a pass from demist, as Pancruz is pointing out in chat, would be pretty nice.
Yeah, I can definitely agree on that one.
Oh goodness, this demist could have a pan that leads to multiple things. Oh, this could be real spicy. We could have the hook with the rat tail leading to pink, or the rat giving adamant. Oh my goodness, there's so many things. And then it's just when does Harumph find the dims? But it looks like Sorbius is going to be checking the White Spear altar first. It's at 9 key items, so I can definitely understand wanting to get the 10 key item bonus from the Ribbon Room, and that's just a Dark Elf.
And the demist is down.
Yep, demist gone. Harumph is now beginning the warp journey out of the sealed cave, because the sealed cave is long and warping out is generally faster than walking out.
Especially when you've got your black mage in the first position, just to make it so you don't have to menu as much.
Yes, not menuing a lot is good. Oh, Cursed Ringtella. Cast Cure 2 on himself, healed himself for 62 whole hit points. Sorbius taking advantage of the fact that the second form of the Dark Elf is not technically a boss, and casting Weak on it to get through this fight a little bit faster.
Definitely like that play. It makes things so much faster. That would have taken a lot longer otherwise.
And that's a pigtail, so that's some value for this moon. Which means Sorbius is just a hook away from go mode.
Yep. The question's, where is the hook?
Will it be at demist? Maybe.
It's a pan.
That is 2 more checks. Harumph, please check Mist Cave. Looks like it is checking the package at least. That's a Palom. Meanwhile, Sorbius is taking down these Baron guards at the Ribbon Room. This is exactly what you want to see at 10 key items. Oh no, Harumph, go back. Oh no.
Oh.
But that is 300,000 experience for Sorbius. That's a lot of levels.
That's some good levels.
And the adamant is on the moon as well. So Harumph will have to come to the moon. So technically we have no mode. If Sorbius decided to leave now and head for the sealed cave, he would be in go mode, but that seems unlikely.
Yeah, it would be it would be a lot more tempting to finish the moon first.
Indeed. Unfortunately, the first pan check was a dud, just a defense sword there. So a double required sealed cave dream might be dying soon. And who put all the free bosses on the moon?
That is disappointing.
Why would you put all the free bosses on the moon? We wanted to see a Rude Moon, not Dark Elf, Baron Guards, and Bahamut.
And there's a tower key.
So this D-Mist is not dead yet.
Well, I mean, it is dead, but the hope of it hiding something important.
That's true. Harumph still has a chance. How amazing would it be if the hook was vanilla?
It would be interesting.
That would be interesting, because then it's when does Sorbius go back to Sealed Cave versus when does Harumph get to the moon?
I actually like that idea. Here's to hoping.
It does look like Harumph is heading straight for Lower Babel. This does have 2 checks we have not seen, as no one has climbed up the Tower Babel without the key yet this seed. And that's no value from Bahamut. Just another spear. Oh no. Oh no. Chat pointing out that Cecil is very low level to be have made it through the Ribbon Room.
Ooh.
Oh, never mind. We're fine. The saves are correct, we hope. And this is more free.
Why all the free?
We didn't want to see the free here. I mean, this is also free, top of tower.
All the rudeness was the beginning of the seed.
No, Pancras, we can't have Kaipo guards at Mura. Kaipo guards were at Asura. But that is an Excal from the Crystal Sword altar, so that's like bad vanilla. Although Sorbius will be pretty happy to see that, as it's definitely an upgrade over that light sword.
Yep. Excal, unless you've got a crystal sword, Excal's always good to see when you've got a Cecil.
Yep. Harumph using Leviathan to fight the Leviathan. It's just a little amusing thing. But Sorbius, show us what we will have at this Murasame altar. Will there be some rudeness on the moon? And the answer is, I guess, that's a little bit rude, technically, but this is mostly still free. This is still free. That is a pass from top of tower, though.
Not bad.
Definitely will speed up Harumph's trip to Zeromus, although it will depend on who is ready to get there first. Well, there's some rudeness in Lower Babel, but there's the hook on the moon. Moon is not haunted. Moon is hard required.
Yep.
And Sorbius is out.
Sorbius is chucking a rat tail, or not rat tail, but a pink tail away from being in go mode.
Yep. Meanwhile, Harumph gets through this Mom Bomb in the Super Cannon room. We know that this will not pay off now since we have seen all of the value, but maybe this steers him to go do Dwarf Castle and get the Yang. Oh, Sorbius didn't raise the hovercraft.
Oh.
Huh. I guess that's a thing that needs to happen too.
Yeah. It does help. Can't really use the hovercraft without it being raised.
Indeed. And it looks like we'll be getting to find out our tower key item and our pink tail item right around the same time. First, though, the rat tail gives the sand ruby, so that's another Yang. So Dwarf Castle not required. And Harumph has a crystal sword.
Not bad. But Sorbius has a crystal and an Avenger.
Yeah, that'll be very nice. Excalibur Cecil is going to go burr.
Very much go burr.
And it looks like, unfortunately, Harumph is going to be chasing Dwarf Castle next. We know in the booth that this has no value, as in the process of getting the hook and the pink tail. This does have a Yang, yes, but there is a duplicate Yang available for trading in the rat tail. So if Harumph did find the hook and the pink tail, that would become virtually irrelevant.
But the bosses in here should be fairly quick.
Yes, shouldn't be too much of an issue. It's more of just a long sequence of cutscenes, and there are 2 boss fights that we do have to get through that do take some time. But meanwhile, Sorbius is diving down this lunar subterranean.
I'm not 100% sure what Sorbius's levels look like at the moment.
Considering that cleared most of the moon with 10 key items.
Should be pretty close to set.
Yes, should be pretty much set with this party. Porum might be a little bit squishy, but I don't think Sorbius is relying on Porum to be the primary healer. Harumph gets the good news that there was a Yang in Baron Castle, and therefore another objective complete. And it looks like Sorbius is gearing up for strats that are going to include some Zerker Porum, I think, based on that gear. Levels in the mid-40s. So looking pretty good in terms of gear and levels. Just doing a little bit of inventory management here before heading into the fight. As Harumph has picked up the Baron key.
Let's see where Harumph heads next. Oh,
Looks like, yep, chasing that Baron, which unfortunately we know is completely haunted other than having Spoonword.
Yeah, and Spoonword, not the most useful.
I mean, Spoonword's fine, but I think there's a more important matter. The question is, what are all these flags in chat?
I guess there's that whole Zeramus thing.
Yeah, I guess that's what they must be. So, we like to randomize a lot of things in this game, but we can't move Zeromus around because Zeromus is big and scary, and Big Bang hurts. There is a way to have Big Bang happen at other places. You don't want it. It's called Witchburn. Big Bang is not fun on Witchburn. But that's why we don't move Zeromus around. So we keep him in his place, but we have to randomize something about him. So we decided, well, let's randomize the sprite, and there's a question that goes along with that. So Imperial Dragon, if you want to do the honors.
Whose butt are we gonna kick today? Or well, tonight at this point.
It's fine. There are so many variants of that question at this point that if you have butt and you have kick, we're good. It's Tatangavis.
I can honestly say I have no idea what that's from.
Neither do I. Chat say it's Super Mario Land. Specifically Super Mario Land 2.
It's definitely a new one for me. I've never seen this one before.
I don't believe I have either. I'm getting conflicting messages in chat now. Now people are saying it's the first one. I'm gonna go with the first one.
And Harumph has found Plague.
Yep. Sorbius looks like did not back Roglich's Cecil ever, so had to do a little bit of row changing there. to get Cecil to do damage. It's more important that Cecil does big damage than Yang does big damage. Meanwhile, Harumph is through Plague.
And finding the Eddy.
Does Harumph have faith in the Edward? No. No, he does not. No one has faith in the Spoonword. I am sorry, Asuka. I cannot control what the runners do. The best part of this is Harumph is about to walk over through this wall into the secret passage, down the throne, and pick up a spoon.
Kinda rude.
It looks like Sorbius is going for the nerf on this Big Bang. Unfortunately, yeah, that counter nuke is going to knock Porum down. But we didn't need Porum.
No.
That looked a little bit high for a nerfed Big Bang.
Yeah, I'm not sure that was actually nerfed.
I don't think that was nerfed. And the black hole comes out. Cecil will stay Zerked because he has an Excalibur, but
Oof, and Harumph reset out because he almost just had his foo nuke himself in the face.
but we have rocks on Sorbius' side. And with Cecil dodging all of the rocks, that is GG's to Sorbius, finishing this race in first place with an official time of 1 hour 32 minutes and 9 seconds. And I believe we are joined in the boost now by Sorbius. GG's.
GG's.
What a fantastically well run race.
I don't know, did you watch that Z fight?
The Z fight was a little bit sketchy, but up through there were some real heads-up plays.
Thanks. Yeah, I don't know what happened with setting up for the Z fight. I even stopped and menued and whatever, and just forgot to give Porum the RD arrows, forgot to back row Cecil. You know, just casual gamer things.
Yeah, it worked out fine.
You got it done. That's what matters.
The first thing I want to ask about is, what were your thoughts when you saw the starting two characters of this seed?
I like Tella, and I wish I'd had a second character to start.
Fair enough.
I mean, Porum,
I knew I was going to have to do some looting and possibly some shopping before I was going to be able to get anything done, depending on who was on Hobbs.
yeah, and that Hobbs character was not probably the one you were hoping for, I assume.
No. I was hoping for Sid, Kane, even Rosa, maybe. Palom would have been fine.
Yeah, really a little bit of a meh character. Your thoughts on the rest of that early game, sort of as you were clearing around the overworld?
I felt like I was really just kind of going back and forth and doing things in sort of a weird order, but it made sense in my head as far as trying to line up when I needed to get jumps and power in order to accomplish things. I wasn't going to get Cecil before Ordeals, so I found the Black Sword, and he was going to be able to help. As an example of why I went all back over there after I was in Fabul.
Yeah, that made sense. I mean, when the Seed just hands you a Black Sword, you may as well go pick up Cecil and have him help out a little bit in getting himself online.
Yeah, and that arty bow from the Fabul defense really helped get through Ordeals because it gave Porum enough multipliers to actually hit Valvalis.
Yeah, the Heron Robe and the arty bow was huge for you.
I couldn't find any heckin' arrows anywhere. I don't know if you noticed me checking every weapon shop everywhere.
We did.
I found ice arrows in Troya, I think, and that was it.
I want to say there were charm arrows in Silvera, but
I never went there, so maybe.
Yeah, there were not a lot of arrows this seed until you went and did Sheila 1, and then Sheila's like, here you go, here's arty arrows.
Yeah, that I didn't want to use them because I had nothing else. I don't know if you noticed when I ditched Rosa, I took her lit arrows because, I needed arrows.
Yep.
Cannot blame you there.
So my other question about the seed is, how did you like that moon?
I actually liked that moon. It was pretty straightforward. It wasn't especially hard. Having the lightsaber really helped to get through like Dark Elf. And the coffins were pretty nice to have when I got to the guards fight.
We noticed that everything on the moon was free.
Yeah.
We were all hoping for a rude moon, and then every boss that showed up was just like, why is this here?
What was in Value Cave? Do we know?
We do not know.
Oh, okay.
That could have been the rudeness on the moon.
Well, there wasn't a lot of rudeness left.
There was an Alt Gauntlet.
Sure.
That was pretty much it.
That was pretty much it.
Yeah, Kanazo, Ogopogo, Valvalis, Golbez, all those guys are out of the pool.
Everything got used up on the overworld. It was...
Made it interesting, but...
Yeah, this was very much a seed that was tough early on, and then not so tough.
No, really, it was a struggle a little bit to get up Ordeals and get Cecil online, but once I had him with the Light Sword and pour him with Berserk, it sort of all fell into place. Nothing was especially hard at that point, at least not the bosses I did.
Yeah. Our tracker pointing out in chat, our tracker Nth pointing out in chat that Maga Sisters could have been rude if they'd shown up, but they also didn't show up.
Yes, they would have been rude on the moon, especially without any mute arrows, which are normally like 2 overworld shops.
No, I don't think we saw any mute arrows this seed.
Shops were very rude.
But any other general thoughts about the seed?
No. As usual, I want to thank all of you fine folks for putting this on and letting us race. I'm having a lot of fun. This is my first tournament, and was not expecting to still be hanging on in round 4, so I'm excited to see what happens.
Yep. Thanks for joining us. And Puro Dragon, do you have any other questions?
Not really, but good race.
Thank you. Have a good night, guys.
Have a good night. And that will be all for us. Harumph has forfeited and declined an interview, which is within his right to do. And after that heartbreaking gamble not paying off.
Yeah.
It was such a good gamble, but just wasn't the right one.
And it looks like we will be raiding into Free Enterprise, where Flurry 14 is up against Dr. Cossack.
Yep.
Please, remember, guys, do not spoil this race for those who might want to watch it later.
Yes, no spoils. If you spoil, you will get the bonk. And you don't want to get the bonk. But one last shout out real quick. Shout outs to Nibari for rolling the seed. Shout outs to Nth for tracking. Shout outs to Imperial Dragon for joining me on comms tonight.
And shoutouts to you as well, Xenocat.
Thank you. Shout outs to the runners. Be sure to give all of the runners and the people on the Restream team a follow. We're all great people. And we all do stuff with this game. But